everybody? Got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos versus the Metallurgist of the Lizardmen. And trust me, it doesn't make any sense at all on why I would call him the Metallurgist, but by the time you're done seeing, I don't know, the bottom of 3, you should understand by then. And if not, I'm sure I'll explain it to you. But anyway, this is actually a pretty good game against Lizardmen. It's a real good list. And it's a real close one. So sit back, relax, and let the sultry tones of my voice bring you through it. Yeah, my wife is listening again, so I'm hamming it up a little bit. It's a 2,500 point battle, so I have a few more tricks in the list, I guess. It's basically just an expansion from my Rock War list. I've still got my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous. He's still a Mark Zinch, level 4 wizard with Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Flaming Breath, and Allura Metal. My hero choices are an Exalted Hero, Lady Elizabeth with the Mark of Zinch. She's on a Chaos Steed. She's my BSB. She's got a Halberd, Helm of Many Eyes, Dawnstone, and Poisonous Slime. And my second Exalted Hero, Cast the Renewed, with the Mark Zinch on a Demonic Mount, with a Halberd, Talisman of Preservation, Third Eye Zinch, and he gets Burning Body at 2,500 points because I needed flaming attacks in the army. My core choices are 5 Warhounds, the Manipulative Mutts, they're butt naked, 18 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide, with Mark Khorne, Halberds, full command of the Banner Rage, and 17 Forsaken, as opposed to the 15 in the 2,200 point unit. My special choices are 5 Chaos Knights with Elizabeth's Honor Guard, Mark Zinch, Ensorcelled Weapons, Banner Musician, Standard Discipline, and 5 other Chaos Knights, Cass's Despoilers, with Mark Nurgle, Lance's Banner Musician, and the Banner of Swiftness. My rare choice is the one, the only, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list is as follows. No more, no less. Unless I made a mistake, in which case that last part didn't mean anything. He's got a Slan as his general. It's a level 4 wizard, duh. BSB, and he's just got all the bells and whistles. The Higher State of Consciousness, Focus of Mystery, Harmonic Convergence, Soul Stone, Channeling Staff, Lichbone Pendant, and the Dragonbane Gem. His hero choices were 3 Scarvets. The first one was on a cold one with a great weapon, had the Ancient Stegodon Helm and the Luckstone. The second one was also on a cold one with a great weapon, Dragon Helm, Other Trickster's Shard, and the Dawnstone. And his third one was on a cold one with a great weapon, Gambler's Armor, and the Egg of Quango, which I really do like that little item. I would probably use it if I played Lizardmen. Last but not least is his little level 1 Skink Priest, who is really just a Scroll Caddy using the Lower Heavens. His core choices were 42 Saurus Warriors with Banner Musician, Spear, and Shields, and 2 units of Skink Skirmishers with Javelins and Shields. His special choices consisted of 2 units of 5 Chameleon Skinks and 1 unit of 7 Cold One Riders with full command and spears. His rare choices were an Ancient Stegodon with sharpened horns, because if you're going to take an Ancient Stegodon, hell, if you're going to take a Stegodon, you sharpen those horns. Otherwise, it's really just a waste. And 2 units of 1 Salamander each. These are my spells. 4 for metal, because that's all I need. And, of course, the Beast spell. And here are his spells, which is kind of a novel of spells. He had a Lore Master. He has everything. Everything from Metal and a couple from Heavens. So, yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's not. He took High Magic with the Lizardman special rule where if he gets one off, he gets one of the spells off, he can swap it out at the end of the turn for a spell from another list. Here's deployment. A little bit of a further back picture because, well, I mean, we're table edge to table edge. For the most part, my Demon Prince was across from his Scar Veteran Cold One unit and the Stegodon. I was hoping to use the Chameleon Skinks that he has on my left flank there up front as a screen to stop his Stegodon from charging me so I could get a charge off on his Scar Veterans. That was the hope. Meanwhile, the Nurgle Knights were going to they had to get the charge off on the Ancient Stag. If they could charge the Ancient Stag, I was in there. I was in the clear. I would be able to kill him. Hopefully, probably, more than likely. So that's the opponent I was hoping to square off with there. But the Demon Prince or the Nurgle Knights, they both have the same movement. Whoever got him first, that's fine. They could deal with him once they were in combat with him, as long as he didn't charge me. Those sharpened horns scare the hell out of me. My Tzeentch Knights, Cass, and my Khorne Warriors with, with Lady Elizabeth and the Tzeentch Knights, they were going to go after his huge Brachiosaurus Warriors, try to get a hold of that Salamander, and with a little luck get somebody into his Slan, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Meanwhile, the Dogs and the Forsaken were on my right there in the middle, just as backup. They were just going to try to hit whatever they could hit. I didn't like where his little Scar Veteran on a cold one was. I didn't like where all those skinks were, but really his only big targets were on my left flank and the big unit of Saurus Warriors. So I figured with their movement 6, they might be able to get into the flank of the Saurus Warriors and do some damage there, because that would have been ideal. And last but not least, the Beast, all the way over to the right, was going to deal with the clouds of skinks over there, because with his toughness and everything like that, or with his spell and their low toughness, he should be able to do a lot of damage if he can get the spell off. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of left to right his Cold One Riders. His third Scarvet is in there, I believe. He's got his Ancient Stegodon with double blowpipes right next to them, and Scarvetter number 2, I believe, right next to them. Here's his center from left to right. There's a unit of skinks. There's his Slan. Behind or in front of the Slan is a Salamander unit. I know it looks like a swarm. It's not. They're Salamanders. They're in the middle, dead center in the middle there is his huge Brachiosaurus Warriors. Next to them is his Skink Priest running solo, and right next to him is his Scar Veteran number 1 running solo. And right next to him is kind of hard to see is his second unit of 1 each Salamander. And his left flank, which consists of his Chameleon Skinks that are slightly more forward than the bigger unit of regular Skinks. Here's my right flank, which consists of the Beast. And here's my center. From right to left, there's the Forsaken. In front of them are the Dogs. Next to them are the Khorne Warriors. Next to them is Cass. And next to them is Lady Elizabeth with her Knights. And my left flank, which consists of my Demon Prince and the Nurgle Knights. Here's top 1 after movement, and I know I'll go first. Oh well, kind of getting used to that, right? For the most part, everything comes running forward, except for the Scar Veteran and the Stegodon. My opponent did not make the mistake of charging them forward too much, but in my opinion, he did make the mistake of not moving the Chameleon Skinks, because that gave my Demon Prince a place to go and hide, so that he doesn't have to worry too much about the Stegodon hitting him. However, if the Scar Veterans charge him, that would be ideal. During his magic phase, he gets the fiery convocation off on my Khorne Warriors and obliterates more than half the unit. 8 guys die. I have 10 left in the unit. I'm really disappointed. He irresistible force this one. There was nothing I could do about it, and it's a rip, so the damn spell stays in play the entire time. Very frustrating, but well played by my opponent. It was a good miscast, and speaking of which, he rolls a miscast 8. However, he's got that gift that lets him modify a miscast by 1 up or down, so it becomes a 7. And other than destroying some of his magic dice, which ends his magic phase, does absolutely nothing to anyone else. So yeah, his Slan is basically invincible. However, he fired off that fiery convocation spell through his Skink Priest, who took a hit and was wounded, and so now he's half dead, and I'll take that. You know, I mean, it only cost me 8 of my Khorne Warriors, right? So here's bottom of 1 after movement, and as you can see, I moved forward cautiously. My Mutalith did try to charge the Chameleons. They fled. When they fled, they didn't flee very far, but I saw the angle they were at, so my Dogs charged them after they stopped, and the angle they took off the table bounced them through the skink cohorts or whatever, the regular skinks, and they went off the table. So that was good. Got rid of a unit of Skink Priests right off the bat. Felt good about that one. The skinks did pass their panic check, which wasn't really unsurprised or surprising, I guess. And everything else moved up cautiously, and my Demon Prince moved up using the chameleons to screen the Ancient Stegodon's charge. There's a better picture of the beast and the dogs technically failing a charge, but it felt like a victory because 5 skink chameleons went off the table before they could really do anything. My magic phase is a wash, but at the very end, Fiery Convocation goes off, and he kills 2 more Khorne warriors. I actually got the big Searing Doom off on his Ancient Stegodon, and it was like I rolled like a 24. It was glorious. He had 3 dice. He rolls 3 dice, and he rolls boxcars and stops it. I was like, no. But yep, I don't have any shooting or anything important, so we go to top of 2 after movement, and he moved a lot. His Cold One Riders, they were stupid, which is awesome. So they trundled forward like 2 inches, if that. Other than that, nothing else really moved or charged. The Ancient Stegodon didn't take the bait. The Chameleon Skinks passed their leadership check and run around behind the Demon Prince. And I was fine with that, because now that they're out of the way, I can move 16 inches up and go right next to the Scar Veterans. Or, I'm sorry, the Cold One Riders, and the Ancient Stegodon can't charge me. He could shoot at me all day, that's true, but if he were to do that, he's either going to give me hard cover because he's going to have to shoot through the Cold Ones, or he's going to have to move so that my Nurgle Knights can get a hold of him in the flank or the... Oh, imagine if I got the rear, and that would be just outstanding. So that worked out there. I'm feeling pretty good about the left flank. Meanwhile, in the middle, I moved up a little bit. I thought about it after the game. I should have just thrown him straight forward. I should have thrown the Knights, the Khorne Warriors, and Cass right up against the edge of the trees. If he charged me, he couldn't have been steadfast because he'd have been in the trees. And let's face it, they're Saurus warriors with spears. I really didn't have anything to worry about here. It was foolish for me to hold back like I did, and I apologize to myself for that. It won't happen again, self. It won't. Over on the right flank, my right flank, the Skinks just kind of mess around, get ready. They try to come in there and get a hold of the beast. Meanwhile, his Scar Veteran #1 or whatever, he moves over to trying to get ready to charge the beast. There's a better picture of the stupid Cold Ones, which I feel pretty good about. During his magic phase, during his last magic phase, he got Tempest off. It didn't do anything, so he got it off though, so he got rid of it, traded it for a Laura Metal spell, knocked it down to the signature spell, so now he has Searing Doom. He gets the big Searing Doom off. He had 5 dice to my 3. And so he gets the big Searing Doom off with like a 26. I roll all 3 of my dice. I think I rolled a 6 altogether. He obliterates every single Tzeentch Knight. There's nothing I can do about it. Lady Elizabeth passed her panic because she's insane courage. And so does Cass. He makes his panic check or whatever. Oh, I was so disappointed. Can't even begin to tell you. So, oh well, Lady Lizardeth is still around, and she's really dangerous, and she's got Cass backing her up, so I still have a fighting chance, but the fact that my Knights just got melted into their baser elements, it just breaks my heart. Speaking of getting melted, Fiery Convocation goes off again, because it pulses every magic phase, and 2 more Khorne Warriors just become searingly doomed. See what I did there? I thought it was clever. And then during shooting phase, 1 Salamander takes a pot shot going for the Forsaken and misses him, but he clips one of the dogs and he kills him. A little snipe there from the Salamander taking out a dog. It's just rude. So we go to bottom of 2 after moving. After all that, fun was had, and as you can see, not a whole heck of a lot. My beast tried to charge his Skinks, who fled. I think he chose to flee. My beast doesn't go very far. He goes like, I think I roll a 3 and a 1, so he moves up like 3 inches. Meanwhile, the dogs, they were just out of range to charge the Skinks off the table. It would have been an illegal charge, so I couldn't call it, so they stayed put. Other than that, my BSB, Lady Elizabeth, and Cass move up just near the tree edge, getting ready to charge the Saurus Warriors. Khorne Warriors move up because they were trying to... No, I'm sorry. Cass and Lady Elizabeth charged different things. Cass charged the Salamanders that fled. Lady Elizabeth charged the Skink Priest who fled. So that worked out kind of fun. Meanwhile, the Corn Warriors moved up, the Nurgle Warriors moved up, and the Demon Prince ran over to the side of the Cold Ones after passing his leadership to March, and got ready to try to Searing Doom the Stegodon and charge into the Cold Ones as soon as the opportunity presented itself. Here's a better picture of the Beast failing his charge against the Skinks. And here's a better picture of the Salamander and the Skink Priest fleeing from the charges of my Exalted Heroes. During the magic phase, nothing happens. He's able to shut it down once again. I get this big Searing Doom off on his, what's it called, Ancient Stegodon once again, and I'm all excited about it. And again, with 3 dice, he rolls boxcars. So, frustrated, I do Flaming Breath. I just burn my breath weapon on the cold ones, and I hit pretty much all of them. But only 1 dies, which is pretty good, all things considered. There's only -1 that are armor save. I did 4 wounds, 3 or 4 wounds, not a ton, but I got 1. I'll take it. You know, I figured it wasn't really going to be all that useful in close combat against them, so I'll do it here and maybe have some fun. With no combat, we wrap that up and go over to top of 3, and really there's not a whole lot. The Skinks on the right flank fail to rally. The Scar Veteran on a cold one charges my Beast and fails that charge. The Ancient Stegodon, no, I'm sorry, the Scar Veteran on a cold one in the middle there tries to charge the Nurgle Knights and fails. The Ancient Stegodon turns to face the Nurgle Knights, and that's fine with me. Other than that, oh yeah, and the cold ones turn to face the Demon Prince because they know it's coming. There's a better picture of the Skinks fleeing from the Beast, or continuing to flee from the Beast. And there's a better picture of his Scar Veteran on a cold one, failing to hit my Beast, which I feel really good about. And there's a failed charge from his other Scar Veteran on a cold one into my Nurgle Knights. I mean, and he was just missing these charges. I got really lucky. But my luck runs out. During his magic phase, he gets Searing Doom off on my Nurgle Knights and rolls. He gets the big one off. There's nothing I can do about it. He's got 6 dice to my 3 because he's got like the 3 channeling dice and all that garbage, which hurts and breaks my heart a little bit. He Searing Dooms the big one on my Nurgle Knights, and he gets like boxcars for the amount of hits. I didn't even bother. I just picked them up because I was like, yeah, you can roll your wounds, but we all know they're dead. Every last one of them dies, and that breaks my heart because that's how I lost 10 knights this game to Searing Doom and a very well played magic phase by my Lizardmen opponent. I'd love to be mad at him if I wasn't so impressed with him. Speaking of being impressed with his magic phase, Fiery Convocation goes off again. It pulses at the end, or it's a remain in play, and I just can't get rid of it. So 3 more Corn Warriors die. So without seeing combat, 15 out of the 18 are dead without doing anything. Not a damn thing. So at this point, I've just given up on that unit, and I know they're dead. I know it's points for my opponent, and I'm just like, well, there's no way I'm going to stop a 19, with 3 dice into the spell phase, and I need to try to get Searing Doom off on this Ancient Stegodon, which was supposed to be dead 2 turns ago, but he's been irresistibly stopping it with his Dispel phase. It's driving me crazy. But, yeah, it's just I am being beat senseless in the Magic phase, and I've got to give my opponent credit where it's due. He's playing the Magic phase perfectly. But that's enough of that, because now we're going to bottom of 3. And now I go in. The Demon Prince charges into the cold ones because I have to. The Lady Elizabeth and Cass both slam into the Saurus Warriors and make their dangerous terrain checks in the forest. I needed to do something. The dogs move up in front of the other Scarvet to stop it from charging the Beast in the flank. The Beast moves up as far as he can in order to get his spell off on the Skink Priest because I see the opportunity to kill the stupid thing. The Forsaken move up to charge the Saurus Warriors next turn of Fable, and the Corn Warriors, they move up a little bit, but I wasn't too sure if they were going to stay there. I was thinking about moving them to the back just to preserve those points. There's a better picture of Lady Elizabeth and Cass slamming into the Saurus Warriors, and they're just going to start shredding them the best they can. And there's a better picture of my Demon Prince slamming into the Cold One Riders because he needs a new belt. And he's got a big waist. He's got like a 44. He's a big guy. During the Magic phase, I take a pot shot at Searing Doom. I do the small one in the vague hope that I'm able to just do some wounds at his son of a gun. It gets through. He actually fails to dispel it, and I'm able to roll 6 hits. I do 5 wounds to the thing, and it dies, and I'm so glad because now it's a threat I no longer have to worry about. Searing Doom in this game has been unbelievable. 10 knights and Ancient Stegodon claimed by that spell. Amazing, amazing lore. Gotta love the lore metal. During my magic phase, I'm also able to get the beast spell off on the Skink Priest. I make him cause fear, and then I make him turn into a weird gibbering thing whose intestines explode, and then he dies, which I'm perfectly fine with. The ensuing panic check for the salamanders forces them to flee. They fail it and they flee, and that's where they end up, which is perfectly fine with me as well. Not to say that that's all I did in the magic phase. I was able to get enchanted blades off on my demon prince with 1 die, which is all I had left, which I was happy with. And now he's got +1 to hit and armor piercing, and magical attacks. Last but not least, Fiery Convocation pulses once again. I forgot all about it, or I probably would have let it go off anyway to get other spells off. And 1 more Corn Warrior dies, and that sucks. We go into combat, and Lord Tremendous is able to kill all but 3 of these little guys. They lose combat by a decent amount. He does take 1 wound for his trouble. He is not able to soul feeder it. They break, the banner dies, and they get away. They both pass their dangerous terrain check as they go through the forest as well. So that was pretty good too. I'm feeling good about this. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to be able to turn this around. Over here in combat, Lady Elizabeth and the exalted hero Cass are able to kill off about 6 or 7. I think it's 6 of the Saurus warriors, which isn't great, but it isn't terrible. And we win this combat, but these guys are steadfast and stay. So we go to top of 4 after movement, and there's been a little bit. The Scar Veteran takes the bait and slams into the dogs, which was expected. His Cold One Riders rally, and his Skinks and his Chameleons get ready to start shooting up my Demon Prince to try to kill him before he can do anything. Meanwhile, his Scarvet that was in the middle there, and his Salamanders move up to get a charge off on my 2 Exalted Heroes that are in combat with the Saurus Warriors. There's a better picture of his Scarvet slamming into my dogs, and yeah, we all know they're dead. During his magic phase, he gets Hand of Glory off on his Saurus Warriors, and honestly, I think he's just grabbing at straws right now, which I'm fine with. I would have probably done something very similar to that. However, he was able to get it off Irresistible. He rolls an 8, or no, I'm sorry, he rolls a 6 this time, decides to hell with that, and he moves it up to a 7, and yeah. Needless to say, the miscast 7 does nothing but ending his magic phase, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's something. But 6 would have been better. Potentially put a wound on him and stuff. And, I'm greedy. During his shooting phase, all the Skinks fire at the Demon Prince and are able to slip 1 more wound through, which is both insulting and embarrassing. So I'm not happy about that. With the shooting done, we go into combat, and his Scarvet on a Cold One easily demolished the 4 dogs. It wasn't even a shock. The Muleth does pass his panic check, and life is good there. And then we come over here, and even with Hand of Glory off, Lady Elizabeth and Cass are able to kill off 7 more Saurus Warriors, which is just phenomenal. It's going in the right direction. We're winning these combats. However, with the Steadfast 9 rerollable, they're not going anywhere, especially with Cold-Blooded. So, we go to bottom of 4 after movement, and now it's all over with the crying. The Forsaken slam into the flank of the Saurus Warriors, and my Demon Prince slams into the just rallied Cold One Riders. And yeah, for the most part, now I'm just really going to try to kill off as much as I can before the end of the game and try to recuperate some of my lost points. There's a better picture of my Forsaken slamming into his Saurus Warriors, which I'm excited about. And there's a better picture of my Demon Prince slamming into the Cold Ones. Magic is easily dispelled, and I don't have shooting, so we go into combat. And as you can see, Lord Tremendous was able to kill one of the Scarvets, or I'm sorry, Cold One Riders. Damn it. However, his Scarvet is able to slip another wound through. I almost die. I Soul Feeder nothing, which really hurts. And they break, they run, they get away. However, the dangerous terrain check that the Scarvet had to take, he was already carrying a wound from this combat. He fails his dangerous terrain check and dies. Yeah, so I guess I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about that. I got the Cold One Riders, I got another Scarvet, and although my Demon Prince is hanging on by a thread, he's still hanging on. And you know what? He had ample amount of opportunities to roll a 6 and recover that wound, and I just haven't been able to do it, so I think he's just not feeling it right now. So I'm a little worried because I know the skinks are coming to shoot at him again, but I'm in the forest, so I'm hoping. Over here in combat, another 5, 6, 7, 8 or so Saurus Warriors die. I roll, I think it's either always strikes first or no, it's armor piercing. That's what I get. The Forsaken get armor piercing, and they are able to do some serious damage to these Saurus Warriors, which feels pretty good. However, I win this combat, but they make their break check, mostly because the damn Slant was there with his leadership and his rerolls. So, with all that said and done, we go to top of 5 after movement, and there's a little bit, like I said, his Skinks and his Chameleons run over to try to shoot my Demon Prince down. His Scar Veteran that was left slams into the rear of the Exalted Heroes and passes his dangerous terrain check. The other Scar Veteran, I believe, fails a charge going after the Forsaken, which is perfectly fine with me, and the Slan moves out of the way a little bit because I think he knows that the Saurus War is about to break. There's a better picture of his Scarvet slamming into a Lady Elizabeth and Cass. And there's a better picture of his other Scarvet failing a charge into the rear of the Forsaken, which I'm really glad he failed. This hurts my feelings. During his shooting phase, those skinks, man, they fire enough poison into Lord Tremendous to finally overcome his unnatural resistances, and he dies, and it's sad. Really enjoying the Demon Prince. Really hating it when he dies. To make matters worse, the Salamanders take a pot shot at the last 2 remaining Corn Warriors that are trying to get out of this, and he rolls perfectly to get that dang template right over the top, hitting both of them. And believe it or not, he wounds both of them. However, I make my save! Strength 4, -1, and I'm able to roll 2 5s. Neither of them die, and that was awesome. I was thrilled. Finally, I'm keeping some points from him. After that's all said and done, we go over to combat here, and while it's not an overly impressive combat phase, it's enough. I think Lady Elizabeth ends up in a challenge with his Scar Veteran. The Scarvet's not able to do anything to Lady Elizabeth, but Lady Elizabeth isn't able to do anything to him back. I think this is the one with the Dawnstone. But anyway, I'm able to kill a handful of Saurus Warriors, not very many, but it's enough that they're not steadfast anymore. They lose this combat, and they break, and they get run down. Lady Elizabeth chooses to stand because I didn't want everything fleeing or marching over to the left. Lady Elizabeth stands, and her intent is to charge the Slan next turn because this is his turn. So I'm hoping to be able to get a hold of the Slan, kill him with Lady Elizabeth, and win the game because I need to get a hold of his general in order to pull out the victory, I think. The Saurus Warriors being run down within 6 inches of these Salamanders make them flee, which I'm perfectly fine with. With all that said and done, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and here's where I make a mistake. A few mistakes. Number 1, the Corn Warriors, they fall back a lot. They move 8 inches straight back because they don't want to get killed. I'm trying to preserve those points. Lady Elizabeth slams into the Slan, and I had forgotten that Slan can be ethereal. I should have sent anything else after it instead of Lady Elizabeth, something with a magic weapon. Although I don't think I had anything left. No, my Demon Prince was gone, so I didn't have anything magical left, so I guess it really didn't matter. And the second mistake that I make is I send a beast into the rear to Scarvet. The idea here was charge in a rear makes me win by 3. Maybe I can get a wound off on him. It was really stupid, but it was a gamble. I thought I was further behind points than I was. I should have just magicked him with the beast spell, but I didn't, and it was really stupid. And I really wish I could go back in time and take it back. But oh well. There's a better picture of the beast slamming into the back of the Scarvet. Really bad idea. You'll see why in a minute. And there's a better picture of Lady Elizabeth slamming into the Slan, and I should have known better. I really should have known better. During the combat, we find out pretty quick, or I find out pretty quick anyway, that, oh yeah, they can be ethereal, and that's what you would do if you were going to run your guy solo like this. So obviously I can't do anything. Charge and a banner to nothing. He loses by 1. He's unstable. He ends up taking a wound, but that's pretty much it. He doesn't break or anything like that, and that sucks. I really, really wish that I had figured that out, because now that's it. I can't do anything to him. I've got nothing that's angled the right way to go after him, and so yeah, Lady Elizabeth and him are just going to sit there in a tie for the rest of the game, because there's nothing I can do and there's nothing he can do, unless he wounds me, and then he'll win by 1, and that would suck. Over here, yeah, the beast doesn't do any wounds to him. The beast saves all the wounds that he does to him. I win by 3, and he makes his break check, which figures, doesn't it? I actually won that one, and he makes his break check, so that sucks. With all the excitement, disappointment, and confusion, I apologize. I actually forgot to take a picture of top of 6 after movement. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Clearly, if you've seen the way I've been playing. What does end up happening is more of the same. There's really nothing big. I believe his salamanders continue to flee, and his Scar Veteran continues to flee. I don't believe anybody rallies. However, we go into combat here, and the Slan isn't able to do anything to Lady Elizabeth, so it's a draw. And then the Beast isn't able to do anything to the Scar Veteran, but he's able to wound the Beast. The Beast loses by 1, breaks, and gets run down. And this is completely my fault. I'm so sorry, Beast. I'm sorry. Oh, it hurts. It hurts to play the music. It does. So, with my heart heavy with sorrow, we go into bottom of 6 after movement. And as you can see, there's really not a whole lot left. Cass charges at the salamanders. They flee. Cass redirects and passes his leadership check to charge the Scar Veteran instead. He has to continue fleeing because neither of them rallied last turn. They both roll far enough away, and Cass isn't able to catch the Scar Veteran at all, as you can see. Other than that, nothing. Nothing at all. We're either in combat or in dead. There's a better picture of Scarvet fleeing away from Cass, and there's a better picture of these salamanders continuing to flee. Nothing else happens this magic or this during the magic or shooting phase, because it's all my magic and shooting is dead or non-existent. And so we go into combat. There's no picture of it because it's just Lady Elizabeth and the Slan staring at each other, because the Slan was not able to hurt Lady Elizabeth and her 1-up rollable 1 armor save. So there it is. There's the end of the game. And as you can see, it was brutal, which is it's always got to be the best, right? When they're real brutal and bloody like that. I do have a couple of big units left on the table. I do have a couple characters left, but that's really about it. Everything else got beat down and killed, and it's sad. But you know what? We'll get to the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Token time, everybody. Tokens. Check them out. All the tokens you could need for anything that you could possibly play. Warhammer 40k, Infinity, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Infinity, Malifaux, whatever you need tokens for, Token Gal can make the tokens. They're dirt cheap, guys. No more than $8 for a set, but they're solid gold quality. I mean, these are glass beads. They magnify the picture and the words. You've got wound counters. You've got status effects. You've got spell effects. +1 toughness, -1 strength. You know, whatever you need. She's got all the magic lores. She's got everything you need for any system that you play. She's got a email address you can send and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. And now she has a website. It's there at the bottom. I'm not going to bother reading it off because if you can't read, what the hell are you doing on the internet? Just seriously, though, check her out. Check out her website. Order yourself some tokens. It's totally worth it. You won't regret it. Hey guys, I know I've already talked to you about this before, but you should really check these pictures out because they were all painted, including my model, by Unleashed Wargaming. And they have their email right up there at the top of the page, and they've also got it down there. They got a YouTube channel. He's working on a website. It's not quite ready yet, but yeah, really, if you get a chance, check these guys out. If you're looking for someone to paint your stuff real good, seriously, check these guys out. Go to his, send him an email, check out his YouTube page. It's really worth your time. It's a phenomenal job. It's quick, it's painless. You don't have to worry about painting your stuff. And soon I'll be running a model that these guys painted for me, and I'm very excited about that. But check out these pictures. Give this guy an email. Check him out on YouTube. Get your models painted by him if you can. It's totally worth it. And tell him Tremendous sent you. As you guys already know, we are going to the Rock Wars GT. I will be there, so it's September 12th to the 14th. Totally excited to be going. If you're going to be there, if you just want to show up and say hey or whatever, I would love to meet you guys. I'm really enjoying doing these battle reports. I'm enjoying the comments. I'm enjoying the back and forth. And so, by all means, if you're there, you want to swing by, say hey, I would love that. Maybe we get a game in. I would be thrilled to be able to do a battle report with it. But yeah, definitely. If you guys are there and you want to meet up, hey, by all means, come say hi. You'll know my models. If you're interested in going, though, if you want to check it out, I think there's still some slots open. Check it out, rockwarsgt.com. It's right there. Real easy to type in. You should be able to figure it out. But yeah, guys, come check it out. Come say hi. Love to meet you. Yeah, I want to let you guys know about a new opportunity for you. It's called the Redstone Rumble. It's a major fantasy 40K Flames of War and War Machine event. It's in October 4th and 5th in Huntsville, Alabama. And I'm not going to be able to attend because I'm in the military and I'll be elsewhere during that time. Not for a long time, just unfortunately that particular week I'll be out of town, so I can't go. But my loss is your gain because my admission fee had been paid. So rather than let that go to waste, with the TOs and the event organizers for the Redstone Rumble, we have decided to do a giveaway. You want to go to the Redstone Rumble? Are you available to go October 4th and 5th? Do you want to play Fantasy at 2,500 points? A 40K tournament at 2,000 points? Flames of War or War Machine? Whatever the heck you want to play? You can have my ticket. The way we're doing a little bit of a giveaway. So basically, in order for you to win this free admission, and there'll only be one winner, I need you to come up with a great name for any unit I field, except for Lady Elizabeth or Lord Tremendous. They're going to keep their names. But if you wanted to name my Exalted Hero or one of my units of warriors or my Forsaken or my dogs, even the Beast, if you want to name the Beast, go for it. But the trick is you got to impress me. I mean, it's the free admission pass that I'm giving you, so impress me. Earn it. I know, kind of a foreign concept, but no. Earn it. Rename, just put it in the comment section. This will be going on for a little while yet because, it's out there for a little while, so everybody's going to get the opportunity to participate. But by all means, if you are available to go to the Redstone Rumble, October 4th and 5th in Huntsville, Alabama, and you want to get in for free, and you have a little bit of cleverness in you, or somebody you know is clever, rename one of my units. Put it in the comments section below. Just mark it, hey, here's my entry. This is the unit. This is what I think they should be named. The one that wows me, the one that makes me go, oh, I like that, is the one I'm going to choose, and you will get free admission to this event, the Redstone Rumble. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or whatever like that, just go ahead and go over to www.redstonerumble.com. Check them out. You can get their contact info and stuff like that. They'd be thrilled to talk to you, I'm sure, answer all your questions. Really cool guys, real big in the Warhammer scene. But yeah, guys, this is your opportunity to not only name one of Lord Tremendous's units, but to also get yourself a free ticket to a major event. It's worth it. Do it. But after totaling it all up and getting it all figured out, it turned into a draw for Lord Tremendous. 1,430 for me, 1,509 for him. A 79-point difference. I've been getting a lot of draws lately, which is awesome. That just means my opponents are getting better and I'm getting worse. So I'll take it, though. I ended up losing my Demon Prince, my Warhounds, my Tzeentch and Nurgle Knights, and the Beast. The Demon Prince was unfortunate. The Warhounds were expected. The Tzeentch and Nurgle Knights were just beautifully orchestrated by my opponent. And the Beast was my own stupidity, and I'm sorry for that. The Lizardmen ended up losing one Scar Veteran, one unit of Skinks, the Cold One Riders, the Ancient Stegodon, one unit of Salamanders, the Skink Priest, one unit of Chameleon Skinks, and the Saurus Warriors. Really, really bloody game. Really, really great game. Hugely effective Lizardmen list. I'm very impressed on how they worked and how well they did against me, especially considering I was really trying. My opponent was really good, and I'm very impressed with his list. I hope he continues to play these guys, because damn, I like the challenge. Searing Doom killing both knight units was like leg-breakingly devastating. I didn't know what to do. I mean, the Tzeentch Knights not being around when I made the charge into the Saurus Warriors was not part of the plan. The Nurgle Knights, especially after his Scar Veteran failed that charge, and then right behind him was the Stegodon and everything. I'm like, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be great. And then they were just taken from me, every last one. Oh man. That was so painful to watch and have to pick up my knights after that. Oh, I understand why people hate it, why that I run the Laura Metal, but I'm not going to stop. It ain't happening. And of course, Searing Doom also was the big reason that, was the only reason actually that the Ancient Stegodon finally died, so I feel pretty good about that too. The combats that we had in this game were amazingly fun. The Demon Prince and the Cold Ones, the Exalted Heroes and the Saurus Warriors, even the Beast into the back of the Scar Veteran when that one turned on me. Just amazing, like the heroic level combat. So I was really happy to see that. Losing the Demon Prince to Skink shooting hurt my pride. I won't lie. I don't know what it is, but something about the Skinks taking up my Demon Prince just feels wrong. Why couldn't it? I would have preferred the Ancient Stegodon just blowing through him to the Skinks shooting him down, or throwing javelins at him and killing him. That just breaks my heart. Charging the Beast in the Scar Veteran was really, 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 really dumb. I mean, amazingly dumb. Like, noobs that have never played a game before would have looked at me and been like, why would you do that? And I'd be like, I don't know. Sometimes I just want to destroy something beautiful. So, yeah, I showed my stupid, and it was glaringly obvious. But all in all, this was a really great game to play against Lizardmen. It was great to see Lizardmen again. It's not an army that I face all that often. I believe the last time I faced Lizardmen was like in round 2 or 3 at the Shiloh, which that was a good opponent too. So I'm starting to consider Lizardmen generals to be good opponents. So I'm going to act accordingly from now on. That's right, you've been warned. Terrific draw. It was a terrific opponent, and I need a rematch. We have to resolve this draw and find out, who the better general truly is for the game. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 118, if you can believe it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I certainly am not going to stop doing these anytime soon. I'm doing marathon reports right now because little bit of a bonus for me. This weekend, this Memorial Day weekend, I actually have a group of watchers, subscribers, fans, whatever you want to call them, coming up from New Orleans to get a bunch of games in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm trying to knock out all the battle reports that I have on the backlog so that when they get out here, we have our games come maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can get them up there so that we can all bask in how well the guys did whooping my butt. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I'll have at least, gosh, should be 5 or 6 more battle reports minimum by the end of the weekend. So awesome, awesome, awesome. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thanks!